Why do the biggest YouTubers always sound different? Why do some creators upload every single day? And how do you build a channel people instantly recognize? It comes down to two things: identity and efficiency. Right now, everyone is using AI tools to pump out content faster. But here is the truth. The tool you pick decides whether you grow or stay invisible. And ElevenLabs is one of the strongest voice tools out there. In the last video, we covered the starter plan. Today, I'm going to break down the real difference between starter vs creator, and why creator is basically the plan that turns your voice into a business. Starter gives you about 30 minutes a month. That is, maybe 3 long-form videos. And that is if everything goes perfectly. Because with starter, you are always thinking, don't waste credits, don't regenerate, don't test too much. So you end up keeping takes that are just okay. Creator gives you around 121 minutes. That is not a small upgrade. That is a totally different workflow. Now you can experiment, you can polish, you can generate multiple versions, and pick the best one. Starter makes you play defense. Creator lets you play offense. But here is the trap that 90% of people fall into. They say, starter already has voice cloning, so why pay more? And technically, yeah, starter can clone your voice. But it is like copying a photo in low resolution. You get the shape, but you lose the details that make it feel real. Starter gives you instant voice cloning. It only needs a few minutes of audio. And it sounds like you, kind of. But the tone is flatter, the emotion is weaker. And when you feed it a long script, it starts drifting. It is great for testing, great for messing around, great for quick voice effects. But it is not a brand voice. Creator unlocks professional voice cloning, and this is where ElevenLabs becomes dangerous, in a good way. Because now it captures the stuff people do not think about. Your breathing, your pauses, your rhythm, your natural pacing. So even on long scripts, the voice stays consistent. And that is when people start thinking, wait, I recognize this voice. That is branding. That is what makes your channel stick. Now I know what some of you are thinking. What about 128K and 192K? And here is the thing. Most people misunderstand this completely because there are two different concepts, production quality and export bitrate. A lot of tools can export 192K. That doesn't mean the voice actually sounds premium. That is like taking a blurry photo and printing it on expensive paper. It is still blurry. Starter voices can be clear and stable, but they sometimes have that slight AI plastic feel. Creator with professional cloning sounds warmer, more natural, more human. And when your competitor sounds like a real narrator, and you sound like a robot reading a script, guess who the audience trusts? And by the way, Creator is not just about cloning. It is basically ElevenLabs turning into a mini studio.
ElevenLabs.
If you want brand deals, podcasts, long videos, audiobooks, Creator is where the platform actually starts feeling professional. For example, projects. You can upload a long article, and it automatically breaks it into sections. Then you tweak tone, emotion, pauses, line by line. If you make long-form content, this alone saves you hours. And the dubbing feature is insane. Upload a video, and it can translate into multiple languages while keeping your voice identity. Creators do not pay extra because they love spending money. They pay extra because it saves time. And time is content. Content is views. Views are money. Now let's talk cost, because this part is crazy. If you look at the numbers, Creator is actually around 10% cheaper per unit than Starter. And you get way more tools, more voice slots, more projects, and professional cloning options. So instead of one voice, you can build a whole voice library, your own voice, a co-host voice, character voices. This is basically a voice IP toolkit. A lot of creators try to force Starter to do a creator job. And what happens? They sound generic, their content blends in, and they waste months because they picked the wrong tool. So here is the simple decision. If you barely upload and you are on a tight budget, Starter is fine. But if you want to build something real, if you want your channel to stand out, If you want people to recognize your voice instantly, Creator is the move. Because Creator is not an expense, it is an investment. And right now, the first month is discounted, around $11. Annual plans also save you even more. For 90% of serious creators, this is the closest thing to going pro without hiring a voice actor. Next video, we will talk about the Pro plan and why studios and content agencies are willing to pay $99 a month. Subscribe if you want the real breakdown. No hype, no nonsense, just the math.